Life is not happening tomorrow or yesterday. It is unfolding here, now, in this very moment. Yet, so often we are swept away by the endless stream of thoughts, the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, where we're going, or what might happen. But these thoughts are not life. They are like clouds passing in the sky, temporary, fleeting, and ultimately not the essence of who you are. Awareness arises when we embrace the present moment fully without resistance. This simple truth holds profound power. The present moment is the only place where life truly exists. Yet so often we find ourselves lost in the endless maze of thoughts about the past or future, rehashing old memories, worrying about what's to come, or planning endlessly for scenarios that may never unfold. In doing so, we miss the vibrant aliveness of what is happening right now. Embracing the present moment means stepping out of the mental narrative and into direct experience. It is not about denying the past or neglecting the future. Both have their place. But awareness arises when we understand that our connection to the past and future only exists through the lens of now. Whatever happened in the past is no longer unfolding. It exists only in your memory. Similarly, the future is a mental projection, a possibility that has yet to take form. When we dwell in these spaces too long, we sacrifice our ability to fully inhabit the only reality we have, the present moment. Resistance to the present moment often stems from our mind's tendency to label it as insufficient or undesirable. We resist what is by wishing it were different, thinking things should be other than they are. This resistance creates tension, stress, and a sense of disconnection. Awareness, however, does not resist. It allows everything to be as it is. Whether the moment is filled with joy or challenge, awareness greets it with acceptance, not as an act of resignation, but as a surrender to the truth of now. This does not mean we give up on improving our lives or addressing challenges. It means we approach life from a place of presence rather than reactivity. When you accept the present moment fully, a calm clarity arises. You can see things as they truly are, unclouded by the filters of judgment or fear. From this place you can act with purpose and wisdom, rather than being swept away by habitual reactions. To embrace the present moment, begin with your senses. Feel the weight of your body against the chair or the ground. Listen to the sounds around you without labeling them as good or bad. Notice your breath, how it flows in and out effortlessly. These simple acts anchor you in the now. They remind you that life is not something that will happen to you in the future. It is happening right here, in the beating of your heart, the air on your skin, and the quiet hum of existence. When you stop resisting the moment, you begin to experience a deeper peace that has always been there, hidden beneath the layers of thought and resistance. The present moment becomes not just a point in time, but a doorway to the richness of life itself. This is where awareness arises, when you embrace the now fully, without resistance, and allow yourself to simply be. Our thoughts are not who we are. Observing them creates space for clarity and peace. This insight may seem simple, but it has the potential to transform how we relate to ourselves and the world around us. The human mind is a remarkable tool, capable of extraordinary creativity, problem-solving, and planning. But left unchecked, it can become a relentless source of noise and stress. Thoughts arise constantly, sometimes helpful and practical, but often repetitive, critical, or fearful. These thoughts create a mental narrative, an ongoing stream of commentary about who we are, what we should be doing, or what might happen next. We often identify so strongly with this mental chatter that we believe it to be the essence of who we are. But this is a misunderstanding. You are not your thoughts. To understand this, consider how fleeting and impermanent thoughts are. They come and go, often unbidden, like clouds passing through the sky. Sometimes they are bright and uplifting, other times they are heavy and stormy. but no matter their nature, they do not define the sky itself. In the same way, thoughts arise and pass, but they are not the essence of you. Beneath the thoughts, there is a deeper, more spacious awareness, a quiet presence that observes them. This is who you are. When you begin to observe your thoughts, something extraordinary happens. You create a space between yourself and the mind's activity. This space is not empty, it is filled with clarity, stillness, and peace. In that space, you realize that you are not the thinker, you are the awareness that observes the thoughts. This shift in perspective is the foundation of true freedom. Observing your thoughts does not mean suppressing or judging them. It means watching them with curiosity and non-judgment, as if you were watching clouds drift across the sky. Notice their nature. Some thoughts are rooted in fear, others in desire, and still others in habit. As you observe them, you begin to see patterns in your mind. You notice that certain thoughts trigger emotional reactions, while others are neutral. This awareness allows you to respond to life with greater clarity and less reactivity. This practice of observation brings peace because it interrupts the identification with the mind's constant stream of thoughts. Stress and anxiety often arise from believing every thought as true or important. By observing your mind, you realize that many thoughts are simply noise, echoes of past conditioning or habitual fears. When you no longer attach yourself to every thought, they lose their power over you. Start small. Take a moment each day to sit quietly and observe your mind. You don't need to change anything, simply notice what arises. With practice, this habit of observation will extend into your daily life. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and watch your thoughts. This simple act creates space for peace, for clarity, and for a deeper connection to the present moment. When you realize that you are not your thoughts, you step into the freedom of being. You reclaim your essence, a vast awareness that is untouched by the fleeting activity of the mind. In this space, true peace resides. True presence dissolves stress, allowing life to flow naturally and effortlessly. This principle reveals a profound truth about the nature of stress and how to transcend it through awareness and presence. Stress arises not from life itself, but from our resistance to it, our thoughts, judgments, and fears about what is happening. When we are truly present, stress begins to dissolve and life unfolds with ease. To understand this, consider what happens when you feel stressed. Stress is not a direct result of circumstances, it is your mind's reaction to them. The mind projects worries about the future, revisits unresolved events from the past, or spins stories about what should or shouldn't be. This mental activity creates a sense of tension, as though life is something to fight against or control. But stress cannot survive in the presence of true awareness, because stress depends on the mind's focus on time, either the past or the future. Presence anchors you in the now, where life is actually happening. When you are present, your relationship with life shifts. Instead of resisting what is, you meet it with acceptance and openness. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation. On the contrary, it allows you to respond to challenges with clarity and calm rather than reacting from fear or agitation. Presence transforms stress into a deeper sense of flow, where actions arise naturally without the strain of mental resistance. True presence begins with the simple act of being aware. It can be as small as noticing your breath or feeling the sensations in your body. These acts ground you in the present moment. For instance, if you are stuck in traffic and feel the familiar rise of stress, pause. Notice your breathing. Feel the weight of your body in the seat. Listen to the sounds around you. By bringing your attention to the now, you break the cycle of anxious thoughts. The traffic hasn't changed, but your relationship with it has. You are no longer lost in resistance, but are instead rooted in presence. When life flows naturally, it doesn't mean everything becomes easy or perfect. Challenges still arise, but your relationship with them changes. You no longer view them as problems to fix or enemies to overcome. Instead, you see them as part of the unfolding of life. From this place of presence, solutions often arise effortlessly because your mind is no longer clouded by stress or fear. One of the keys to cultivating true presence is to slow down. Modern life often pushes us to move quickly, multitask, and strive endlessly. But presence is found in stillness. Even amidst activity, you can slow down internally by focusing on one thing at a time, giving it your full attention. Life flows naturally when you live in harmony with the present moment. There is no need to fight against the current. Presence invites you to let go of resistance, dissolve stress, and allow life to unfold with the grace and ease that arises not from control but from alignment with the now. Daily awareness begins with small acts of mindfulness that awaken us to life's richness. This truth may seem simple, but it carries profound implications for how we engage with the world. We often think of awareness as something distant or monumental, perhaps something that requires years of practice or deep spiritual insight. In reality, awareness can be cultivated in the small, everyday moments that make up our lives. These moments, when approached with mindfulness, are gateways to a deeper connection to the present moment and the world around us. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of tasks, to-do lists, and distractions. We often live on autopilot, moving from one thing to the next without truly being present. But awareness doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with simple, intentional acts of mindfulness woven throughout the day. When you drink a cup of tea, for example, pause to truly savor it. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands, the fragrance of the tea, the sensation of each sip. Notice how the tea nourishes your body and mind. This small act, performed with full attention, brings you into the present moment. It transforms a simple daily routine into an opportunity for deeper awareness. Similarly, when you're walking, take a few moments to become aware of your surroundings. Notice the texture of the ground beneath your feet, the colors of the trees or buildings, the sounds in the air. These observations anchor you in the present and awaken you to the richness of life. You might think that these moments are insignificant, but in truth they are the very fabric of life. Awareness is not something you need to search for in the future or hope to attain one day. It is here, in the details of everyday life, waiting to be noticed. The power of small acts of mindfulness lies in their ability to shift your perception of life. When you are fully present, even the most ordinary activities take on new significance. You begin to see beauty and meaning in places you may have previously overlooked. The way light dances through a window, the laughter of a child, the feel of the earth beneath your feet, these things, when noticed, awaken a deep sense of appreciation and connection. They remind you that life is not something to be rushed through, but to be experienced fully. Daily awareness is not about perfection, it is about consistency, it is about choosing to be present, moment by moment, without judgment or expectation. When you cultivate this presence, you begin to see life in a new light. Your mind becomes quieter, and you find a deeper sense of peace even amidst chaos. Small acts of mindfulness build upon one another, creating a foundation of awareness that enriches your experience of life. The more you practice awareness in the small things, the more it becomes a natural part of your life. It is not something you do, but something you are. Awareness is a way of being that permeates every moment, transforming the mundane into the extraordinary. By paying attention to the present moment, you discover that life itself is full of depth, richness, and beauty. The world is always speaking to you, and through daily awareness you begin to hear its quiet whispers. In conclusion, staying aware in our daily lives is not about striving for perfection or achieving some distant state of enlightenment. It is about returning again and again to the present moment, embracing life as it is, without judgment or resistance. Through simple acts of mindfulness, whether it's observing our thoughts, grounding ourselves in the now, or appreciating the beauty in ordinary moments, we create space for clarity, peace, and a deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. Awareness transforms how we experience life. It dissolves stress, calms the mind, and opens us to the richness of every moment. The more we practice this mindful presence, the more we awaken to the simple yet profound truth that life, in all its facets, is a gift to be fully experienced. In each small mindful act, we find the key to living with greater peace, purpose, and harmony. And in this, we discover the deepest form of freedom, the freedom to be fully alive here and now.